Kill a Kill has returned. And this banner is going to be a blessing for a lot of you. Today's video is all about the Kill a Kill crossover, which unit you should aim for, where they belong on the tier list, and which ones will take your account to the next level. Let's be clear, this banner is a must-have, and if you skip these units, who knows when you'll see them again. Unlike a lot of the crossovers we get, this banner is different. This banner produced a lot of top tier units. So let's start off with the equipments. Blade Regalia increases physical damage by 60%, but the most important part, it provides Argent, 50 for the first use and 100 total to human units. Bakuzan increases break power by 75%, which you'll need this equipment sooner or later. Ryoko's Bomber Jacket, a good defense equipment that reduces physical and fire damage by 25%. Iris Raid Track Jacket reduces target slight damage taken by 30%, but most importantly, this defense equipment provides 50 arts the first time it's used, so make sure you pick this up if you don't have one already, and it comes in handy for nuking. Fight Club Goku Uniform provides 30 arts and 20% damage, good to have in general. Nonon's Hat increases target's Argent by 100 and grants 50% damage to light units. Guts is a really good healing equipment that increases max HP by 30% and overtime healing. Uzzu's Eye Mask is great for reducing earth damage by 30%. If the user is human, it's 45%. Really solid here. I'm not sure if we're getting the plushies, but if we do, only one of them really caught my eye. Sengetsu's Plushie. This equipment increases physical damage by 40% and allies physical resistance by 20%. Since it's from an equipment, it'll stack with other units. The rest of the equipments are okay, which I'll put on the screen. And just remember, there are more equipments out there, but these are just the better ones. I'm sure a lot of you guys know that Hoka is the star of the show, and if you don't have him, he should be your #1 priority. This guy has 2 5-star support slots, which one of them should be his true weapon, granting him 100 arts at the start of the quest, increases 15% stats up to human allies, and 3 arts for 10 seconds. The second slot is optional. You'll want equipments like access to reach his super art early, or if you need more damage, adjust accordingly. The reason he's the most wanted unit in Grand Summoners is simple. It's his super art. Hoka wants to get into this immediately, granting the team with buffs and Argent. For 25 seconds, he grants the team with 7 arts per second, and the leader of the party gains 10 instead. But that's not all. He increases crit damage by 300%. 300. This single most important super art from Hoka makes him irreplaceable. And if the team doesn't naturally crit, Hoka can fix that by using his true art. The team can now hit crit and gain water resistance by 80% to the enemy. His Rasen Shuriken increases all allies' accuracy by 50% and human allies' attack by 100%. His skill heals the lowest unit's HP by 3000 and Hoka gains 40 arts. Hoka can be put in any team composition. Any. He's going to help the team hit harder and stay active non-stop during battle. For his rotation, pop his super art ASAP. If you don't have crit, pop his true art. If you have human allies in a party, pop his arts, or super art then true art, and repeat. That's literally his rotation. Where does Hoka belong on the tier list? Without a doubt, triple S tier. There is absolutely no other unit in the game that compares to him. Now, the next units might just shock you. Uzzu is an absolute base of a unit. If you pull him, you'll want his true weapon. It reduces enemies' earth resistance by 50% and increases Uzzu's crit damage by 70%. But Uzzu is a ramping up unit, so he takes time to reach his full potential, but once he does, he's unstoppable. His skill gives arts depending on whether he crits, which I personally don't like. If you crit, he gains 60. If not, it's 30. Uzzu wants to use his true art 3 times. With each use, he increases his super crit rate by 25%, capping at 75%, which is the second highest in the game right now. But his super art is where the real damage happens. He gains 100% crit and reduces enemies' physical resistance by 150%. His arts have been buffed, increasing his damage and skill CT speed by 150%. For his rotations, true art 3 times, art then super art for maximum damage. But a lot of you guys might just be true arting 3 times and super art, which is still okay. If he had better slots, maybe he would ramp up faster. So where does Uzzu belong in the tier list? Double S tier. This guy hits extremely hard, but I'll have to be honest, I don't even use this guy. There's just better units out there. Uzzu is a selfish type of unit. If he's not your main DPS unit, he starts to lose value. That's the only drawback from this unit. Overall, he's a good unit to have. Let me ask you something. Are you a penguin, dolphin, or whale? If you never spent money, you're a free-to-play player. If you spent $1, then congratulations, you're an official penguin. No judgment here. We're a part of the same community. I just wanted to point that out since we're close to the holidays. If you made it this far, hit that like button. Gamagori. Gamagori is an excellent taunt tank. If you didn't get Toma, aim for this guy. Even if you already have a taunt tank, he's still a great pickup. Plus, Gamagori is the only unit in the game that can reach 100% damage resistance with equipments from Grand Crusade. Gamagori wants to be an attacker, and his kit is built around controlling his HP. He becomes stronger the lower his HP gets, with a cap of 250% increased damage. He has a life-saving passive. If he's about to die, he instantly heals to full HP one time, and gets buffed to his equipment CT speed and 20% damage resistance. His skill grants him 40 arts. His art reduces enemy dark resistance by 50%. His true art consumes 2% of his max HP, increasing physical resistance by 30% and taunts the enemy, granting a barrier that negates 35k damage. His super art ignores 100% of enemies' defense and grants him with freeze and paralysis resistance. Where does he rank? Another double S tier. Just like all Ascended Taunt tanks actually. Now, our next unit is absolutely underrated. Nonon. I don't know why I haven't seen any team compositions with Nonon and Young Emperor. Nonon is a magic attacker and magic buffer. She shines in mono light magic teams with human units. At the start of every wave, she gives light allies 25 arts and human allies an additional 25. She has the second strongest attack multiplier in the game, which is a 2 multiplier. Her skill grants her 4 arts for 8 seconds, and she gains an additional 20 during the boss fight. Her art permanently increases light allies attack by 50%, which caps at 200. Her true art gives 200% damage to non-boss enemies and increases allies attack by 130%. Her super art deals heavy damage, reducing enemies' magic resistance by 150% and lowers the brick resistance. She's powerful and overlooked, but she is niched, so where does she rank? She's SS tier. If she wasn't so specialized, I think she'll be even higher. Just to let you guys know, there are more units to cover, which I'll go through quickly. Awoken units. You really just need to get one unit, which is Mako. She is still usable today. Mako heals all allies HP by 400 for 20 seconds, increases allies art gen by 5 per second, and arts damage by 150%. On top of this, Mako is an EX2 type art generator, so she can stack with everyone but herself, and she's a luck unit. Ryoku is an okay unit, but she doesn't have any arching capabilities, so it's tough to use her, and she's a self-buffer. She wants to break the boss in order to deal even greater damage. Satsuki is actually really fun to play. She relies on her skill to gain arts. She's a decent breaker and inflicts ultimate freeze, which is crit resistance, as well as increasing status effects. Noi is a good unit, and you can use her for quick farming, where she buffs dark damage. She ignores enemies defense and provides 200 arts to the unit with the lowest art gen whenever she pops her true art. Try to get them and luck them all. Quick recap. Get Hoka, your priority of this banner. Uzzu isn't a must-have, but he's a great DPS unit if you're missing one. It doesn't hurt to get or have another taunt tank like Gamagori. Nonon is underrated, so if you pull her, she's great. Mako is definitely worth getting. Blade Regalia is one of the best equipments in the game that provide human units with 100 arts. And Iris Tracksuit, this defense equipment is more valuable than you may think. I hope that you guys get exactly the unit that you want. So good luck. If you want to know more about the fastest way to farm luck gems, then watch this video. Don't just play the game, master it. Aim for that W. And you know what they call me.